what we're doing is a Pakistan. Because as said, we staunchly oppose this mega mosque being built. So if we don't stand in this, the people of Rochester, the people of Medway, who have asked us.
Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. So tell me the leaflets are. You're going to load. Smash it. Have a read.
Sorry, running for the seats in this area, Rochester and screwed.
So we just out campaigning today. We're encouraging people to vote either Brits first or UKIP. Quite frankly, they're the only two parties. We're standing in the Rochester by-election. My name's Jayda Fransen. We're encouraging the people of
Join us, Martin. So how do you think today's gone here in sunny Rochester?
It's been brilliant. We've had loads of people turn up and we've had loads of people taking leaflets. That's what we want.
Good stuff. Thank you for... John, how do you think it's went? I've seen you around all day, walking around giving out these leaflets. You must have given out hundreds by now.
I have a lot of support from everyone in the town. A bit of opposition, but not too much. Mainly support from everyone around here.
Good stuff. Matthew, how you been getting on?
Oh, it's been great. Obviously we've had some opposition, but most of the people have been supportive. We've had a run-in with the Conservatives. Lovely bunch of people. And,
Calling us fascists, I believe, the only ones.
Yeah, we're saying something about our armed forces on the streets. No reply.
Yeah, they don't care. They're self-serving, corrupt politicians. Right, well, thank you for joining us, all of our Britain First supporters across the world. We're here in Rochester High Street in Kent, in South East England. Joining me now is Britain First candidate in the up-and-coming Rochester parliamentary by-election, Jayda. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Can you tell us how the reception has gone today?
Really well. It's been a good day so far. We're in the High Street of Rochester, just by the beautiful cathedral. We've been leafleting, having a chat with the locals, and the reception's been great. We've had lots of support, very little opposition. In fact, our main issue on which we are standing is regarding this mega mosque and the fact that the locals have repeatedly said that they did not want this proposal to go through. They didn't want planning permission granted, and everyone we've spoken to today is just outraged that they've all been ignored, and really supportive of the fact that we've come out to stand with them and say again, we don't want this mega mosque being built, and that we support them on that.
How's the reception been from the numerous UKIP activists walking up and down?
It's been superb. There have been many of them actually. It's really good to see them again. We saw a couple when we were out last time. There've been quite a few of them out today. We've been having a really good chat with them. Things are going really well for them, and we wish Mark Reckless all the best. We're fully in support of the move that he made. Quite frankly, it's a no-brainer. These self-serving old gangs have proven themselves to just be sort of liars and corrupt. So well done to him for actually going and joining a party that stands for the people. And all the people that we've seen today that are UKIP supporters and that are pushing the UKIP message seem to be singing from the exact same hymn sheet as Britain First. I can't see absolutely any difference between the parties. So yeah, really good to see them.
Now, what would you say to those who would accuse Britain First of stealing votes from UKIP in this election?
Look, let's be realistic. We're not here to split the vote, and quite frankly, it's very unlikely. UKIP are doing amazingly. We can see that from the stats. We're not here to steal their votes. Basically what we've been saying to the public is, look, there are two credible parties who have candidates standing in this by-election. The first is Britain First, and the second is UKIP. If you don't vote Britain First, then vote UKIP, because quite frankly, as I say, the old gang and these alternatives, they haven't got your interests at heart, and we've seen this from the very fact that the issue for which we're standing regarding this mega mosque was ignored by the old gang parties. Their candidates voted in favour, notwithstanding the fact that all the locals said that they didn't want it.
Now, the fact remains that in the latest opinion poll, UKIP are 15% ahead of any other party. So they're looking to win this seat by a comfortable margin. It's very unlikely that you know, a few votes to Britain First would make a real difference. But we are telling people, if you don't want to vote for us, vote for UKIP. They can't transfer their vote like in a European election under proportional representation, but in this we are telling people, you know, if you don't want to register a protest against the big mega mosque that they want to plonk on your doorstep to facilitate further Muslim immigration into this area, if you don't want to vote for us, vote for UKIP. And Mark Reckless obviously deserves credit for leaving a morally bankrupt Conservative Party that was lying through its teeth at every given turn, broken promises, a record of failure, and you know, generally not telling the truth.
Yeah.
He's left that Conservative Party and joined a party of principle, and he's getting scolded by the media in exactly the same way that Britain First is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's gone to a party of principle, and you know, they have the people's interests at heart. And quite frankly, if we didn't stand in this by-election, what would that say? You know, we've led the opposition campaign throughout Medway regarding this mega mosque. We have led this from the start. We've put immense pressure on the council. We've had days of action. We've done campaigning regarding this mega mosque. So, quite frankly, if we said that we weren't going to stand in this by-election, it would give the people of Rochester and Medway as a whole the impression that we've wiped our hands of the issue, which we absolutely haven't. This mosque hasn't been built yet, and if you vote for us, it won't be.
And the fact remains that we are standing because UKIP, for all their good policies, which are virtually identical to Britain First, they will not touch the Islamic issue, which is why we're needed to stand. And quite frankly, we're not interested as an organisation what vote we get. What we're interested in is the media coverage, the exposure, and the public pressure that will result as a matter of us doing a real high-profile, high-octane campaign during this by-election. All the media coverage, the tens of thousands of leaflets that will come out. That's what we're really interested in.
Yeah,
we're not
absolutely.
interested in getting 3%, 4%, 5%. We're interested in creating a fuss, as we usually do so well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that hit the nail on the head. That's exactly why we're here. You know, people that are aware of our party know that we are a party of action. You know, we don't just deal solely with political issues. We actually go out onto the streets. We confront people. We confront the establishment. We're not going to sit on our laurels and just let all of these things slide. And you know, the main message today is that these old gang parties who are now making even more false promises. You know, we were promised an EU referendum before, that didn't materialise. We're promised another one now. Cameron's making empty promises that we won't pay 1.7 billion into the EU. Quite frankly, as soon as this election's over, it's going to get paid, guys. Let's be realistic. You know, there's no point in allowing them to trick us any further, because, you know, once it's their fault, but twice it's ours. So if we fall for this again and again, we only have ourselves to blame. It's time to wake up and look to the parties that actually have the people's interests at heart.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jayda, and good luck campaigning today.
Thank you. We're standing in the Rochester by-election. Yeah, that's right. I mean, the main issue. Assaulting our female activists. How dare you, sir? You're assaulting our female activists. How dare you? How dare you?